There is a sad lantern now. Sadness has entered the chat. And yes, the color appears to be gray. I'm embracing it. When else are you gonna get to wear gray lipstick? Some of you are saying never. That's probably the right time. But if not now, when? Green Lantern has a long history and a plethora of lore. It is ever expanding, and this is an addition that I wanted to highlight because the whole emotional light spectrum already elicits a wide array of responses. I'm Sasha, this is Casually Comics, and we're going to take a look at the first appearance of the Lantern of Sorrow. It's deeper than sadness. This new lantern has debuted in Green Lantern 13 from 2024. In the Absolute Power tie-in issue, the character who took on this role has been present almost since the start of the New Dawn of DC run. New time of recording. This run has been helmed so far by Jeremy Adams, and it began in May of 2023, with art predominantly by Germanico, and each issue also has a backup. Our Sorrow Lantern is Nathan Allen Broome. Is his last name an homage? Maybe. In issue 2, he appeared in the story Nice Guys Finish First. Well, not if you're Nathan. Hal is most certainly not a nice guy, at least not in these stories. Not if we're being genuine about the term. Also, just an amusing side note to me anyway. I'm sure it's changed now that he's the Sorrow Lantern, but initially when I was looking into this, so time of typing / filming, Nathan Allen Broome didn't even have a full fandom wiki page, which is saying something. In some of the issues he appeared in, he wasn't even listed as a support character, not even with the grayed out name or anything. That was how much of a non-entity people seem to feel that Nathan was. Well, who's crying now? Nathan appeared on the scene as Carol's fiance, but he was also initially placed inside the position of obvious second choice guy who doesn't get the girl. Hal and Carol, despite what a hot mess their relationship has been since inception, are positioned as one of the endgame DC couples. You are meant to view them as such, and you're supposed to root for them in that way. Nathan is just meant to be a guy holding position until Carol and Hal can sort it out, or worse yet, he's supposed to be in the way. He's standing in between true love. How dare he? If you care about Hal and Carol, this is a fairly standard setup. If you don't, then it could prove a little frustrating, especially as Nathan is presented as a genuinely nice guy. He's not a fake or creepy one, he's just someone doing his best. It's shown right away that he's more into Carol than she's into him, as she introduces him to Hal as her boyfriend, and he very quietly corrects her to fiance. He's not rude or loud about it, he just kind of interjects that they are engaged, maybe might be important to mention. He also clearly knows about her history with Hal, which this run is going to play up a decent amount, playing into the whole we've known each other since childhood and meant to be first love, you never forget your first love. All of those tropes in play. It's really gonna go hard to make you try and care about Hal and Carol. If you are someone who feels for them, this will most likely land. At least the idea that they should be together. You may also still feel bad for Nathan for what's about to happen to him. Will this version of Carol co-sign Hal's lease? Inquiring minds want to know. To make matters even sadder, Nathan even likes Hal. Hal, who's being a little bit sleazy, he's upping the charm to fake levels, being very extra buddy with Nathan, playing it off like he doesn't care at all when really he's manipulated his way to even being the pilot for the flight that they're on when he wasn't supposed to be, when Carol had assigned him to the mailroom. He's just doing all these things to get close to her when she did not want to talk to him. The face Carol makes is well earned. Some of the things that Hal's saying, you see there's layers here. Well, you know how she gets. Boy, do I. I'll let you two get situated. We'll have you in the air in no time. That's Hal? You never told me he was so funny. No, he's not funny. He's doing the thing. What thing? The charming, warming up to you thing. But Nathan, believe me when I say don't trust him. Underneath that smile that he constantly wears is a man that will break your heart. Don't sleep with Hal, Nathan. Don't do it. He'll break your heart. For Carol. He'll leave you for Carol. Carol, you're just stressed. I know this work trip is important, but it's something to celebrate too. Here, to new endeavors. I'll drink to that. Hal tips the plane. He did it on purpose so something spills on Nathan's shirt because he wants to talk to Carol alone, and he gets to, and he even locks Nathan in the bathroom. I like Hal, but the way the Carol and him plot is written in this arc is making it hard. Come on, Carol, I get it. You've moved on, and Nathan seems like a real nice guy. This is never gonna come out. I wonder if I can write this shirt off as a business expense. He is a nice guy. Hey guys, I think the door's stuck. Some would say I'm a nice guy. Red alert. Red flags. Run. He's treating me well. I treated you well. But Hal, he doesn't leave. and he doesn't stalk me onto airplanes. What's important to take from this is not the questionable dynamics of Hal and Carol's relationship, or the complicated nature of it if one is willing to be more charitable to it, but the fact that Nathan never stood a chance. He's been cast as emotionally stable stand-in man. Carol wants that hot mess Hal. We don't see Nathan again for a little bit, because there are many other things going on in this plot, but he does reappear in issue 5, and here we see that he works with Carol, and also that he's intelligent and useful. He's been very supportive of both Carol and the company, trying to help them through difficulties, going to important meetings with her to the Pentagon. He's designed a whole satellite communication system that they're then able to use to help stop Sinestro. He's just there, doing his thing. He doesn't come up again until issue 11, where he's once more shown as being there for Carol, trying to provide support because Ferris Air is going through some difficult times. But she's going through a whole whirl of emotions because Hal has to leave Earth, and she still has deep feelings for him, and so she decides to deal with them by trying to elope with Nathan. She'll marry another man those feelings away. She's using Nathan, trying to force herself into a healthier relationship, even though she doesn't actually love him as much as Hal, and it's not the relationship she wants. Nathan even knows her well enough to question whether or not she's being impulsive. Is this because she's upset? So she emotionally manipulates him into doing what she wants with a "don't you love me? If you loved me, we'd go get married. Don't you love me, baby?" Her and Hal deserve each other in this arc so much. So she convinces him to go with her to Vegas. The entire time she's distracted, out of it, and she's reminiscing about Hal. Nathan asks her multiple times if she still wants to do it, and she reassures him each time. The Vegas chapel that they go to, being called the Chapel of Solitude, is pretty great. Since they forgot rings, Nathan picks out one, a green one, so we readers can appreciate the symbolism. However, a star sapphire ring comes for Carol, and she ditches Nathan at the altar in the Chapel of Solitude. Fitting. And then we get a whole reunited at last cover next issue, and I just feel bad for Nathan. He did nothing wrong except be an intelligent, supportive, stable, handsome, kind man who wasn't Hal. You can do better, Nathan. But you also earned your villain origin, if that is what this is. We see Nathan go full Sorrow Lantern in issue 13.
My name is Nathan Allen Broome. For my entire life, I did what I was told. I went to school, I got good grades, made my parents proud. At every turn, I'd see the rule breakers get ahead of me. They'd get the promotion, the money, the girl. And I thought it was just a matter of time. I'd do okay if I kept working hard, doing what's right, and then I met Carol, the one I wanted to marry, to spend my life with. But she disappeared in a flash of color, and I was left with nothing. Nothing but a deep sadness. Nothing but sorrow.
I feel devastated for Nathan. At the same time, his sorrow garb is over the top. It's just so much in a way that's embracing a bit of theatricality that I appreciate, but I can also see others deeming as too much. The gray colors, the rag style robe with the holes in it, the drooping flower, really sad, swirly teardrop emblem. But how did this happen? Well, something being amiss with the emotion spectrum has been an ongoing plot for this run. The emotional spectrum debuted during the rebirth era for Green Lantern in 2005. That's Hal's rebirth era, not DC's rebirth, which was 2016. In 2005 is when Hal came back from the dead and retook the mantle of Green Lantern. From the start, emotions were foregrounded, with Parallax as a fear entity, and the lore just grew from that point, coalescing throughout the mid-aughts. So these colors also predate Inside Out, which I'm just mentioning because you'll often see comparisons. People say that this is DC's Inside Out or the like, but the first Inside Out came out in 2015. But I can see why people make the connection, because it's colors and emotions and manifesting. But again, that wasn't a new concept there either. Those ideas, they float around. It's fun to personify things. The Lantern Corps, prior to Hal's rebirth, hadn't really been full-fledged other cores. There had been Sinestro's Yellow Ring and the whole thing going on with the Star Sapphires. Post Hal's rebirth, there would be whole cores, and now it extended to other colors like red for rage, orange for greed, blue for hope, indigo for compassion, white for life, black for death, which is not an emotion at all, but neither are some of the others. Now, the rings were said to correspond to core emotional drives, which were part of the base energies making up the universe. This concept has elicited several responses. Some find it to be a cool bit of lore expansion that adds a plethora of opportunities for stories, and was a key part of adding something new to the Hal Jordan revival era of Green Lantern. Others don't mind the concept, but feel that the execution can at times let it down, or that there is some logistical struggles present in the base concept, namely as mentioned that some aren't actually emotions. I mean, rage is an emotion, but what about hope, greed, and of course, as mentioned, will itself? But don't ask Hal, because he doesn't even know what will is. Do you think we'd make it through a whole Hal video without that? Maybe, but not this one. Some feel that the emotion spectrum overcomplicates the mythos, and that it just keeps being added to. So there's a range of reactions. As for sorrow, some welcome the addition of this specific emotion as they felt that it was something that was missing. It's a very basic and obvious one that's actually a feeling. Although some ponder how sadness can be a driving force, while others feel that it's entirely credible that it could be. Some feel that there just needs to be some stabilization of the base emotion core concept before adding more to its plate. Although this could be part of that. There's a whole plot surrounding the source core battery and all of the emotions coming to play together, so we'll see where it goes. On the Nathan front, it is cool to see a side character developed in this way. It's something that doesn't always happen time of recording. Nathan did feel a bit like he was incidental, meant to be tossed aside, or like he was going to be just tossed aside. Just some speed bump on the road to Hal and Carol. So it is nice to have him brought into the plot in this way, and we'll see where it goes and how long that lasts. But even if it's brief, it's just nice to show that Hal and Carol's actions are having an impact. Because regardless of if they are endgame or meant to be, or if they're your favorite couple, the way that they did Nathan, that was dirty. I'm sad for Nathan, so this feels like a fitting emotion for him. Watch them give him some dark past to make Hal and Carol look better. Razor also showed up in this arc. That was nice for all you Razor fans out there, and I know you're out there. It remains to be seen where things go, but the idea of a sadness lantern has potential. Could it be a whole core? Maybe not, but who knows? I'm on the it expands the universe side of things. Sadness is an interesting one. Like Fear and Rage, there's a lot of space one can play in. It's not as explored an area, channeling negative emotions into action, and trying to do so through a more constructive lens. The teardrop logo is very extra though. So that was the tale of Nathan Broome, Lantern of Sadness. What do you think? Are you down with the emotional spectrum in general? Do you like the idea that they're adding onto it? Does sadness work for you? No, it's too much, make it stop. Do you not feel bad for Nathan? Should he have known that he wasn't the guy? Do you think Nathan makes all roses wilt in his presence? Gosh, I hope so. Please put all your thoughts down below, and while you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time to spend discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. I know the gray was a choice, but it was my choice. A chaos lantern.